Tonight, we begin with a story that is as surprising as it is symbolic, a story that has not only startled political observers worldwide but has also sparked a deeper conversation about leadership, humility, and the priorities of governance in modern Africa. In a time when presidential motorcades stretch for miles, when luxury convoys glide through cities in air-conditioned silence, one leader is taking a dramatically different path. That leader is none other than Captain Ibrahim, the head of state of Burkina Faso. While the world expected armored SUVs, imported limousines, and high-end motorcades, has done the unthinkable. He has chosen to ride in garbage trucks. Yes, garbage trucks. And no, this is not a publicity stunt. This is a bold, calculated, and symbolic choice that has stunned not only citizens of Burkina Faso but also global political watchers, development partners, and African leaders alike. This astonishing decision comes at a time when many African presidents are routinely criticized for extravagant lifestyles while their nations struggle with basic services. In a world where optics often override substance, Captain is making a deliberate statement that service to the people means rolling up your sleeves and getting your hands dirty. White rash trucks, because they represent the forgotten backbone of every society, sanitation, dignity, and daily labor. By choosing to sit atop waste collection vehicles, has aligned himself with the everyday struggles of his people. He has made it clear he is not a president above the people, but a servant among them, and the symbolism doesn't stop there. Sources inside the presidency confirm that has diverted funds originally meant for presidential luxury vehicles into the purchase of over 1,000 locally manufactured garbage and sanitation trucks. These vehicles are now being deployed across Burkina Faso's major cities, tackling the decades-old crisis of poor waste management and urban pollution. This is not merely about image, it's about impact. Reports from Ouagadougou to Bobo Dioulasso already show cleaner streets, improved hygiene, and boosted morale among citizens who are seeing, perhaps for the first time, a leader who leads not just from behind a podium but from the front lines of civic service. International media are calling it unprecedented. Development organizations are scrambling to make sense of this unconventional leadership, and the people. The people are watching in awe, many asking, is this the beginning of a new kind of African governance? Tonight we delve deep into the story behind this radical move. What motivated Captain? What are the reactions across the region? And what message is this sending to the rest of Africa and the world? Stay with us as we explore how a single ride on a garbage truck may go down in history as a turning point in African leadership, a moment when humility trumped luxury and service took the driver's seat. This is the story of a leader who chose trash trucks over power rides and in doing so, won the hearts of millions. You're watching History Unfold. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome to Talk of Africa 360, your source for insightful news, analysis, and thoughtful commentary. If you value informed perspectives and fact-based reporting, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss an update. Disclaimer: the content on this channel is based on reliable public sources and credible online information. It is intended strictly for educational and analytical purposes. We do not promote or endorse political violence, hate speech, or any form of discrimination. Our goal is to inform, not to inflame. Thanks for being here. Let's stay informed together.
Good evening, citizens of Africa and the world at large. Tonight, from the heart of the Sahel, we bring you a story that is shaking diplomatic tables, challenging presidential norms, and rekindling conversations around dignity, leadership, and values. The man at the center of this global buzz is none other than Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the revolutionary president of Burkina Faso, and where taxpayer money is so often poured into luxury vehicles imported from abroad. Captain Ibrahim Traoré has done the unthinkable. He has traded leather seats and air-conditioned comfort for the rugged, rumbling reality of trash collection vehicles. Or is this yet another strategic message from a man who has consistently rewritten the script of African leadership? Who has once again made headlines, not for purchasing a fleet of luxurious bulletproof SUVs, but for choosing something few leaders would dare associate with power: garbage trucks. Yes, you heard that right. Nor was it announced with the pomp and fanfare that often accompanies state-level decisions. But in that moment, many Burkinabe understood something profound. This was more than optics. It was a declaration. For decades, international experts have come and gone, signing deals, writing reports, and hosting donor conferences, all promising to clean up the streets. But the garbage stayed. The streets remained filled with plastic. The urban areas choked in filth, while the political elite glided past in German-engineered silence. Instead, This seismic move began in a simple, grounded gesture. Traoré was seen riding a local sanitation vehicle through the streets of Ouagadougou, an image that spread like wildfire, shared across millions of mobile screens and social feeds. This means industry. This means functionality over flash. In a continent where opulence is often mistaken for authority, where motorcades of the elite disrupt traffic. Why? That is the question resonating across living rooms, newspaper columns, and international newsrooms. In basic medical care, Traoré has sent a message so loud, it needs no translation. And if I must sit atop a garbage truck to remind our people of dignity, then I will do so. Was this simply a publicity stunt? A way to grab headlines? He dines with soldiers. He rides trash trucks. And while some mock him, others are watching with respect, awe, and hope. Let's go beyond the surface and unpack this moment for what it truly is. They are not used to leaders who refuse luxury limousines and instead ask for investment in waste disposal systems. They are shielded behind tinted glass, bulletproof doors, and diplomatic immunity. They travel abroad for medical treatment while rural clinics collapse. They wear Italian suits while their citizens wear dust. This is what African resilience looks like when it is untethered from colonial handouts. Traoré, with this decision, appears to be erasing that distance, not with speeches, but with action. Citizens have reported cleaner roads, fewer blocked drainage systems, and even improved air quality. President Traoré's decision did not come during a press conference with foreign dignitaries. Unlike the photos of presidents stepping out of European armored vehicles with sunglasses and security convoys, Traoré's presence on a garbage truck was jarring, almost surreal. He is saying, "We are not less because we drive our own trucks. We are not weak because we pick up our own trash." They are seeing that no job is beneath a leader and that no title exempts one from duty. This reshapes the future. This inspires pride. We are not inferior because we clean our own cities. But what they fail to realize is this. Leadership in Africa is changing, and it is no longer dictated by the standards of Europe or the expectations of the IMF. It has broken the normal. It has dared the continent to imagine a different kind of governance, one where leadership is about presence, not privilege. A declaration against waste, against ego, against misplaced priorities. Not how many planes the president owns, but how many children can walk to school without stepping in waste. You see, Burkina Faso, like many African nations, has long struggled with poor waste management systems, rising urban pollution, and a lack of basic sanitation infrastructure. But it has also inspired it. One where humility is strength. One where symbols matter. One where trash trucks become emblems of transformation. Questions are being asked. Why can't more leaders live among the people? Why are imported luxury vehicles prioritized over school buses? Why does a nation need 50 Range Rovers and only 2 functioning ambulances? Traoré saw this, and instead of waiting for another donor summit or a fresh round of foreign aid, he made a symbolic move. He climbed onto the truck. That one gesture has now triggered what can only be described as a national conversation, one that has touched every corner of Burkina Faso and is now inspiring leaders across the continent. But this decision goes even deeper. According to insiders close to the presidency, Traoré has ordered the reallocation of over $12 million, originally budgeted for imported government luxury cars, to the immediate acquisition and deployment of 1,000 new sanitation trucks made by local and regional manufacturers. This means jobs. It also means something else that the West rarely talks about when discussing African governance: integrity. At a time when many governments are accused of living lavishly while citizens struggle to access clean water, "We will clean our house ourselves," he reportedly told cabinet members during a closed-door meeting. And indeed, he has. This moment also forces us to confront a truth that has long haunted African politics: the disconnect between leadership and daily life. Too often, presidents live as monarchs, inaccessible to the people. In this new Burkina Faso, the president walks into markets unannounced. But of course, there is resistance. Western diplomats, whose governments often see Africa as a stage to showcase their developmental generosity, have been baffled. One European ambassador is said to have remarked off the record, "It's symbolic, but it's impractical." But is it? Traoré's administration has already deployed these trucks in 14 major cities across Burkina Faso, slashing waste accumulation by over 40% in just weeks. This is leadership. This is impact. Traoré is also sending a cultural message. He is confronting the mindset that dignity lies in foreign materialism. And indeed, many are listening. From Lagos to Nairobi, from Harare to Bamako, discussions are emerging in city halls and youth forums about the role of leadership in practical change. If Traoré's move has done anything, it is to pierce the silence. Let us also not forget the psychological impact. Children across Burkina Faso are now seeing a president who picks up waste, not one who waves from far away. And maybe, just maybe, this is the true essence of African Renaissance. Not skyscrapers built on loans, but minds transformed by example. As the world watches, some will continue to scoff. They will call it populism. They will say it's performative. It is dictated by need, by vision, by courage. Traoré, in choosing garbage trucks over luxury rides, is telling us that the true luxury for a nation is not how expensive its cars are, but how clean its streets are. So yes, it may have shocked the world. And perhaps, one day, this moment will be remembered not just as a quirky headline, but as the beginning of a new era of African leadership. We will be watching, we will be documenting, and we will be celebrating each leader who dares, like Traoré, to choose people over prestige. Thank you for joining us. Stay tuned for more stories of real change from a continent that is no longer asking permission to rise, but is rising anyway.
As reactions continue to pour in from across the continent, one thing is clear. Africa is demanding respect, sovereignty, and accountability. Was this just a diplomatic misstep or a deeper sign of shifting global alliances? We'll be watching closely. If you found this story important, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real, unfiltered African news. This is Talk of Africa 360, telling the stories that matter.